up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
A win is a win. That team gave us everything they had, man. They did. They threw it at us, man, and give them some credit. They did, man. They laid it on the line all the way. But the bottom line is, man, it's hard to break us now. It's hard to break us. As a matter of fact, you ain't going to do it. And we just had to buy our time, find our rhythm. Defense, we held. Fox, what an outstanding freaking punt to help our defense. In offense, we do what we got to do to get in overtime. And then we win the toss. Golf, nice job. We go all the way down. That's a damn good win. That's number one. We're 1-0 right now. I got 2 game balls. First one is this, man. You talk about closing out the game. And I said it the other day, somebody asked me, I said, man, you can start the game with this guy and you can finish it with him. And anything in between on offense, Dave Montgomery.
Nah, look. I'm saying we was in that fighting for a while, man, and it was ugly for a little minute. Before the game, Ben said that it showing up ain't gonna be our best game, it ain't gonna be the perfect game, but shit, we finished it together as a team.
Defense, man, this guy was all over the freaking field, man. Play after play after play. In the pass game, the run game, Alex Anzalone.
Hey, this is just one win. I look at it every year, I just look at it a quarter at a time, 4 games at a time. Let's go 3-1, 4-0 each quarter. It's a long-ass season. This is just one. Keep it going.
Damn good win, gentlemen. That's the good news when you don't play your best ball and you still find a way to win, because we'll clean the rest of this up, all right, and we'll be better. I don't care whether we won or lost this game. I was going to tell you the same thing. We got to get better every week. Just a little bit better next week, and we'll be good. All right, great win, man. Great win, because it's a win in the NFL. Break it down.
Hey, a win's a win in this league. They're hard to come by, especially against the good teams. Let's go. Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lions!
There it is. 5!
Let's go!
Victory Monday! Victory Monday! Victory Monday! I don't think we got to do a lot to get people fired up on this Detroit Lions Victory Monday. It's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. And that right there, that's the vet of the network. You've seen his face here a long time. A lot of different Victory Mondays, yes. And you might know him. Some know him as Flannel Sam. But you see the polo on. We got Freddie Polo in the building.
Hey, you know what? I promised on Victory Mondays I would rock this look, and I absolutely love it. I hope to rock this look many more times throughout the season. Yeah. It feels so great coming off of that amazing watch party we had at Hayes Social.
Talk about
Going from start to finish, our reactions during the Monty touchdown. It was just a great night all along, and let me just get this out of the way. Today, we are going wall-to-wall Lions. Tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week, we can touch on Michigan. We can let JB talk his shit about MSU. We can talk about the Tigers. We can talk about the NFC North around the NFL.
Wednesday,
but today,
a little bit of Pistons.
Today, it is all about our Detroit Lions and their 1-0 start with that win against the Rams on Sunday Night Football in overtime.
Not just against the Rams, against one young John Stafford. Man, forward down the field. Hey, you like my my Victory Day get up?
Oh, I love everybody's victory. Hey, we all are more handsome on victory days, no matter what, right?
So true.
every single one of us.
Shout out. I want to introduce you.
Go for it, because I was going to shout out your dope funeral hat.
Oh, let me introduce you. Okay. Hey, man, this man, everybody at the network has been working like around the clock, doing a great job. It was awesome. Matthew Broder, Woodward, and man, is boss legend. Y'all are crushing, man.
Let's go.
Shout out to you guys. It's dope to see you back in coverage mode.
It's been so fun doing these shows with Terry. I thought yesterday as a network went great. All thanks to the Lions. Like yesterday, quick shout out to whether you were on camera or off. It seemed like there were guys stepping up all day. Juices, Chase. I know, cool.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna hit everyone with the thank yous. It was great to see.
I'll try and save it to the end.
It was great to see, and it just makes it all that much better with a Lions victory. Like that's how we can actually get here. We can break it down and we can get critical, but we can celebrate.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Victory Monday, baby.
Just like the Detroit Lions, we all got things that we got to clean up, and we're going to continue to get better. But that was a victory for us yesterday, just like it was a victory for the Detroit Lions, man. Shout out to KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick. Man, I wish we could have celebrated this win with him, but I know he's having a lot of fun with Freddie Felt, chat member, and everything. But that dude, Justin, put in some work. We were there until about 2 a.m. last night, and then he tailed it back to college. Talk about dedication. Shout out to you, brother. I am proud of you. And we got intern Chase in the building. You left at what, 1? Putting in work all day long, man. People were grinding. They were getting out and being able to talk to the fans. Hey, we got, you know what? Silent Mike in the sound booth filling in for KG. What up, though, Silent Mike?
What's going on?
Hey, not much, man. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Mike.
And I don't care, it's a Victory Monday, so in the T booth, Woodward Sports' MVP, JB-SMOOV.
Fellas, what's going on?
Talk to me, man.
Hey, look, physically I'm
so
here.
hyped.
Mentally, I am not here. Just the simple fact of like this whole past weekend out in Chicago, bouncing back over here to watch the game, getting back in enough time to watch the second half of the game as well too. Like I'm literally drained right now, but it was a good weekend. I will say that.
Man, it was a great weekend, and I don't even know if anything else happened this weekend.
Right.
Like, nothing else happened. It's just Detroit Lions.
I mean, something else happened this weekend. Just saying.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Especially nothing with similar colors to these.
Hey, that's facts.
Mike G in the chat, Lions game greater than the Michigan game.
Yes.
Facts. Ed O'Neill, J-Mo got his 100 yards, Sam. I know we're going to talk about that, I'm sure.
Nervous,
I promise you guys, that we are going to do a entire segment, maybe more, on Jamison Williams. But remember, there is a lot to unpack. We can't just get all of our shit off in the first 15 minutes. We got to do a steady build up. And to piggyback off of that, one of the things that I heard in that Dan Campbell postgame speech that I thought was very prophetic, and I discussed it with the guys before the show, is that the Lions, in a lot of ways, didn't play their best game. They were outgained by the Rams. The Rams had more time of possession. The Lions blew a 17-3 lead, and Jared Goff had an uncharacteristic bad turnover, deep in Rams territory. All of that happened, but still, the Lions found a way to win the game and overcome a lot of what made them almost lose. I mean, think about this. They went down 20-17, and they got the ball back, and then they'd go right down the field, heavily aided by a helmet-to-helmet, which was certainly nice, but that throw to Sam Laporta was a phenomenal throw. He had a clean pocket, and he just slung it in there and gunned it to Laporta for 18, tack on 15, they're already in field goal range. It was just, not only that, remember, when the Rams took a 20-17 lead, the Lions got the ball back and had to punt. Shout out to the defense for getting that critical stop as well. So the point with all of this is that the Lions did not play their best game. They didn't play their A game, and they still won. What's going to happen when they do play their A game?
Absolutely. And you know what I saw last night, man? I saw a team that honestly gave the Rams chances.
Yes.
I didn't see a team that, okay, the Rams are just absolutely, in some aspects of this game, dominating. I saw the Lions drop like 3 or 4 picks. Like they AG, because I saw AG taking some heat. And I kept sitting there thinking like, but all game we were sitting there like, oh, that's the sack. Get the sack. Oh, they didn't get the sack. Oh, that's the interception. That's it. Oh, dropped interception. Oh, that's the tackle. Sometimes they will bounce off. That's what I saw last night. So it's like, I want to spare AG from some of the criticism because I thought the players were in the right spot to make big plays, which would have changed the complexity of that game completely. Was there some rust that this team needs to kick off? Oh, definitely. And I know you got a segment on J-Mo. T-Foss. We're going to have to talk. We're going to have to talk. I told y'all. So I had a feeling about J-Mo and those chunk plays and those chunk yards, man. Shout out to him. Really, really proving that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, when they call their shot, listen, take it to the bank. When they call their shot, there's been a lot of things that they said that they were sure of, and you're starting to see those things go. They won that game last night, like you said, not playing perfectly. Bro, teams of past that were really good lose that game.
Broder, am I wrong to say that as much as I loved last year when the Lions body bagged the Broncos at home, as much as I loved when the Lions body bagged Green Bay at Lambeau Field, sometimes these games are much more satisfying because you feel like you got away with one.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. You take 1-0 any way that you can get it. And I think this sets this team up to when they do play their A game in future games to they're going to have one in the bag that they maybe shouldn't have, but it doesn't matter because they got the win. It's the NFL. They're 1-0. Stafford and co. are going home with an L, and it's a beautiful thing.
Most importantly, Stafford.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, no, you take what the NFL scriptwriters will give you, just like the Chicago Bears. Like,
absolutely.
You take it when you can, and it's a sign of a good team. It's a sign of a great team when you can win, not playing your best ball. When you can win playing maybe 2 or 3 levels down from your best ball. The Rams, they were depleted. I kind of feel like the Lions should have beat them more handily, but they're still a good team. They're well coached, and they have Stafford and Kupp. So the fact that all the mess, all the dirty, the ugly play, some of the rust they were knocking off, the fact that they were able to come back, they gave up a lead, but they were able to still stick in the game. With 2 minutes to go, 2.5 minutes to go, I didn't have any concern or I didn't have any worry that they weren't going to at least drive down and get into field goal range. And that's even without the offense running that crisply, that smoothly all game. I was just like, oh, I've seen it done before. They'll do it now.
It was almost as if, like, bro, man, as a parent of, like, 4 now, it was almost like you know what your kids can do. And when they're not giving it their all or when they're not up to potential, you're like, well, if you don't get out there, it's like that's kind of how I felt last night. And when they got that opportunity to go into overtime and you saw Stafford and you saw Goff walking out to middle field, shout out to the NFL script writers because you can't get better than that. And I got a steal of it that I'm going to post to socials later, bro. It was on some straight-up Mortal Kombat stuff. Jared Goff was looking tough, and Stafford was looking real diminutive, and it was on some finish him type stuff, and that's what they did. They went into overtime, and they went to their bread and butter. They didn't play any games, and they looked exactly like the team whose identity that we were expecting. That dude, Justin, kept saying it, David Montgomery, David Montgomery. They gave him the ball. He said, get the frick out of my way. And he just absolutely took over, man. It was beautiful football.
Kool-Aid, I love how you're thinking because we are going to do a whole segment on that overtime drive coming up next. But you said it before, Broder, and I thought it was well put that when the Lions got the ball back down 2017 with a little over 2 minutes left with, I believe, 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, I had no doubt in my mind that they were going to at least tie that game. And logically, you could have said, yeah, Jared Goff threw an interception, and yeah, he got away with one where Kobe Durant dropped one, but it didn't matter because we know what this offense can do when they're humming, and even when they're not humming all game, give them their backs against the wall, and they are going to come through, and that is exactly what they did.
100%. They gave him some. Stafford also had some chances too. Kool-Aid referenced the 4 dropped interceptions. Like 2 that very easily could have been pick sixes. Yep. That's just part of the NFL. Yep. They're 1-0 heading into week 2.
That's all
heading
that matters.
into week 2. And what did Rasheed Wallace say famously back, was it 03-04? He said, we will win game 2.
Hey,
the Bucs are coming to town.
Pay.
Well, we'll get to that at the end of the show or later this week.
Oh, man, this Victory Monday feeling is simply the best. I got to tell you about something else that's the best. It is Premier Pet Supply. I'm sorry, man. They're going to be like, yo, he's really jazzed up. This read today. It's a Victory Monday, man. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and the big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years, over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best and visit them online, www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logo sold out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Hey, want to know where you can get the best pregame Lions party every single Lions home game? Hey, I think we're at second best every single Lions game, man.
Yup. Home.
Every single
Home.
Lions game. Every home game?
Yep.
All right, every single Lions home game. If you guys saw any of the content, you already know that you want to be there at Second Best Bar. You want to be at all of it. Hey, socials, everything. But join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Hey, and now I gotta tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive, let's drive, let's drive. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Hey, it's your boy Brandon Dan, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. That right there is the vet of the network. Vet of the squad, Flannel Sam. Today, it is Freddie Polo for you who don't know. Hey, Matthew Broderick. This is our credentialed Tigers and our Lions reporter and writer, does great work. Co-host of Woodward and Maine, Woodward Sports MVP, in the city booth.
Let's go.
JB-SMOOV. What up, though?
Hey, look, I'm here. We made it. We survived yesterday. We survived yesterday. I'm just happy about it.
Hey,
JB's like, I'm here so I won't get fined. You know? And we got Neil Antone, E.O. McDice in the chat. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what up, though, man? Hey, shout out to that dude, Justin, KG, intern Chase. And we also have Silent Mike in the sound booth this morning for KG. All right, so what else do we have here on the docket? Lions. Oh, Lions.
Yeah.
Man, what a drive. You know, we kind of teased it in the opener. That overtime.
Yeah.
That was the Detroit Lions that I believed we all wanted to see.
That was incredible. We were all just on one because all the Lions did in overtime was just our offensive line punch the Rams' defensive line squarely in the mouth, and you get a steady dose of David Montgomery. And I think that was just brilliant play calling, a brilliant plan. Don't get too cute. Stick with what works because we all know, we saw it. The passing game didn't look as smooth as it looked as at its peak last season. I think even the pass protection was not disappointing, but not as good as it can be and not as good as it's going to be. But one thing consistently throughout the entire game, at least when they gave it to him, was that the Rams could never stop David Montgomery. 17 carries for 91 yards. That's over 5 yards per carry, was just getting chunk yardage after chunk yardage. But as we talked about on the watch party and as we noticed, there was a time where the Lions got away from David Montgomery a little bit. And I'll give you examples. The Lions had a drive when they were up 17-10, and they had a drive when they were up 17-13. And David Montgomery did not get any carries in either of those drives. And I thought that was a little bit perplexing. And we all know our boy Justin, he was pounding the table for more David Montgomery. But here's the thing. The Lions were able to get it into overtime. They were able to win the coin toss. And what did you get in overtime? A steady dose of David Montgomery. 5 carries for 45 yards. In the first 4 plays of overtime, these weren't even all David Montgomery ones. It was Raymond end around for 12, Monty for 21, Monty for 9, and then a little swing pass from Goff to Gibbs for 10. And basically at that point, it's just a formality that you're going to eventually punch it in with David Montgomery, and that's exactly what they did. That is the Lions' identity. That is the best offensive line in football. That is one of the best power runners in football, just imposing their will on this Rams team, this Rams defensive line. As we kept saying, they lost Aaron Donald. And if you want to go even further, they lost Ernest Jones, their best linebacker from last year. They were playing a couple of rookies who looked impressive at times, but they're no match for the Lions run blocking when it's on. And it was just such a fitting way for the Lions to close out that game. Here's our offensive line. Here's David Montgomery. Try and stop it. You can't.
Hey, I love that, man. Absolutely. David Montgomery, and I think Terry Foster summed it up best this morning on Woodward, man. He is just an MFer.
Yes.
And that's the absolute swag that he carries. There was one play in particular. If y'all seen me cover Pistons, if y'all seen any of the other content, or even on this beautiful show with these beautiful people, I love the game in between the game. I love to see what these guys are doing, during timeouts. I love to see what they're doing in the tussles in between plays. And when David Montgomery, he had a couple plays back to back, just smacked the Rams in the mouth, and then a timeout was called, and he was ready though to go. And right in that timeout, you just see him turn around and flex like, ugh. It's like this dude knows exactly who he is, what the job is, and he's going to get it done. Yep. That to me, I'm not going to fault the Lions for saying, you know what, Jahmyr Gibbs is also our 1B bat. Let's get him some go. Let's try some different things. But I think last night proved that David Montgomery is everything that you need out that backfield on those first downs, those second downs, in those short yardages, in those tight yardages. He just knows exactly what to do. Mr. Reliable on this squad.
Well, this is the beauty of the Lions offense. They can beat you and hurt you in a multitude of ways. And there's going to be some games where Jahmyr Gibbs gets the majority of the run, and maybe he breaks one. And Gibbs had a fine game himself. But today was the David Montgomery game, and I think Chuck Brewer puts it in the chat perfectly, Broder. Sewell and Monty in overtime just said, jump on our backs.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want to jump on those guys' backs to get a game-winning touchdown?
Every single person in Ford Field watching around the country knows at the end of the game, they're going Montgomery right behind Sewell. And you can't stop it. Yep. You can't stop it. He's that good regardless. You could run him, in between Taylor Decker and Graham Glass, wherever you want. But no, when the game's on the line, you got to hand it off to David Montgomery and let him carry you to the promised land, especially a game like that. Flannel, I almost wanted, or looking back on it, I kind of wish that game was like the Packers, week 4 against the Packers last year, where it was a David Montgomery 32 handoff game. They were so successful to start the game. The first quarter was all Monty. They went away from it, which I understood. You're trying to get J-Mo and Gibbs and everybody involved, but it wasn't as fluid. The offense wasn't moving, even without scoring points in that first quarter. But there are games where you just got to ride David Montgomery out. Dan Campbell talked about it after the game. He showed up in camp day 1 in shape, ready to go. This week 1 was built for David Montgomery.
It was, and they closed down the club in a way that
they shut it down.
That you rarely see an offensive line just dominate in overtime. Look at this. The final run by David Montgomery to just punch it into the end zone. And I get it. It's at the 1 yard line. It's a goal line play, but it's almost automatic, especially the way that this offensive line had just completely worn down this Rams defensive line in overtime. The Rams defensive line was absolutely demoralized. They were powerless to stop all of this, and that's a beautiful thing. You could, if you want to compare this to the Rams, for example, remember when they were down at the 1 yard line, down 17-10 with a chance to punch it in?
You mean the half yard line?
Yeah, absolutely. And
talk about it.
And to me, this is why just having this automatic 1 yard at the goal line is so important. They didn't get it on first down. They decided to do a little bit of trickery and hand it off on an end around to Jordan Whittington. which ended up drawing an obvious holding penalty on the Rams on Aiden Hutchinson, which should have been a face mask, but whatever. It got called back, and they ended up kicking a field goal. So as much as Lions fans, we're used to a first and goal at the one being, or any down and distance at the one being a formality, but it's not like that everywhere else.
Not everybody has a David Montgomery.
But it's right. They don't have a David Montgomery. They don't have a Penei Sewell or Ragnow to run behind, but the Lions do. And that's going to carry them to more wins. And that's one of the other reasons. And it all goes back to this. The Lions they probably played their C-plus game at best, and they still won.
Bro, their C-plus game with DJ Reader out, people scratching their head on James Houston when clearly we need some pass rush help, and the secondary employing largely some rookies to go out there and make an impact. And it's like, you know what? I liked exactly what I saw out of a squad that I wanted to see them go out there and just manhandle the Rams. And that might have been a little bit of the Kool-Aid. When you talk about Sean McVay, a master tactician on the other sideline, I saw him baiting and doing things to the Detroit Lions that honestly got them playing against their aggressiveness. When you talk about Sean McVay, and everyone talks about, he right now, you got to put him above Dan Campbell. And we already know that team is not a cupboard that's bare. We were wondering how those rookies would step up, and Jared Verse looked pretty good last night. Yep. If those guys continue to play like that, obviously the Rams are going to continue to be scary. I believe that the Detroit Lions beat a really good Rams team last night, like you said, playing their C game. But when you talk about McVay scheming things up, that's what makes that overtime that much more impressive. Is that Dan Campbell said full throttle now. Yes. Full throttle. Let's end the games. It was cute, the chess match. Let's just end this thing and let's just go home now.
That's the thing. If you get the ball first, just don't let the Rams have it again. Run it down their throat, take their heart, feed them Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow and David Montgomery, and say, you will take this and you will like it and you will never get the ball back. And that's that's the perfect way to neutralize any potential Sean McVay, Stafford, Cooper Kupp, any sort of connection that could have gotten them a drive at the end. They didn't even have that option. And it was just a beautiful thing to watch. You didn't see, as we were talking about earlier, the offensive line, I thought overall in the game, didn't always have their best day, especially during pass protection. There were times, like, let's just be honest, and this isn't a knock on Jahmyr Gibbs. It didn't look quite the same with him in there. He had some nice runs. He had that touchdown at the one where he had to power it in. But they went away from David Montgomery probably more than they should have at times. But when the game was on the line, this was maybe one of the most impressive drives I've ever seen from this offensive line, which has had a multitude of impressive drives in a game where they didn't even play their best. It was nice to see that they could still just dominate the F out of a defensive line.
It's like a big brother playing with a little brother, and then it's like, oh, is that dinner in the kitchen I smell?
Yes.
Okay, it's time to end this wrestling match, and they just put them away, man. Physicality in the trenches, the things that all of us in our pregame coverage, they're going to dominate in the trenches. It was definitely there in that overtime game. And it was cool to see that David Montgomery, that he's the type of back that even if the offensive line may have an off play, he's still punching somebody in the mouth for 3 yards. Even on that touchdown, if you look at the play from the reverse angle that shows Montgomery getting into the end zone, he's face mask to face mask with somebody, bro, pushing them back into the end zone. Like, David Montgomery, talk about a bell cow, absolute workhorse, thunder and lightning, and that's the C game?
Yep, and he always falls forward. I don't exactly remember the moment of the game, but I remember I was on air on the watch party. I believe I was with Spencer and Neil at the time, where it was a 3rd and 1, and Montgomery was stopped for no gain. And then he just wiggled out and fell forward for a first down, got 1.5 yards, and that's all that he needed. And that's the beauty of David Montgomery. I've never seen him not fall forward. Never, ever, ever. But you know what? We got to give the people what they want. Let's talk about JMO. Let's talk about JMO. But first, I'm sure a lot of you had some celebratory dispo last night, and I would have if I partake. But how would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it in to any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in-store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Planet Fitness, fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Hey, what up, dope people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you for choosing to kick off your day with the WUW Crew. It's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for this network. That right there is the vet of this squad. Flannel Sam has held down this time slot for a long time. A lot of Victory Mondays, including today, Mr. Frederick Polo.
Hey, and I know we all want to talk about it. Kool-Aid, get your victory. I want everybody in here to get your victory lap off and to make me eat some crow when it comes to Jameson Williams. I will start with you, Mr. Kool-Aid.
Hey, listen, man. I just had a hunch. I believed that Amon-Ra St. Brown would eat, and I thought that he affected last night's game in so many other ways last night than receptions and yards and such. But I just had a hunch that Jameson Williams was going to be one of those guys that you see like Xavier Worthy out there with Patrick Mahomes. We saw the effect he had, and I was kind of bullish on him. I feel like this current NFL, that it caters to those types of wide receivers and those types of players to be able to have minimal targets, but to be able to have big yardage. And I did. I thought he had an opportunity to lead the Detroit Lions in total yards on Friday because of that. Because of the confidence also, though, that Dan Campbell was exuding over one Jameson Williams, because realistically, we haven't been able to see anything yet other than a few. And I'm on like, still, I think I took like 120 victory laps during training camp. But those few videos, and you know what we saw last night? That the work is absolutely paying off, and that Alabama J-Mo, big play J-Mo, I'm talking about, we said it, J-Mo, Waymo targets, and that man came through last night, and it was cool to see him happy for his performance. It was cool to see the confidence and to see J-Mo really in a position where you could tell he was like, yo, I can do this. I didn't see a guy that looked prideful, but I saw a guy who was happy to see his work pay off, to see over injury hurdles, over the past issues, and just go out there and ball in a big spot for your team. Back-to-back games, back-to-back big games, he's shown up.
Absolutely. Broder, your turn.
Yeah.
Your turn.
No, J-Mo stepped up when they needed him to step up. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta, they were schemed out of that game. Like McVay and that defense, Chris Shula, second-year defensive coordinator, were doing everything to keep Amon-Ra St. Brown out of it. And Sam Laporta ended up with 45 yards. But it was a game where you needed other guys to step up. You needed that game out of J-Mo. That first 36-yard completion that he made, that really got everyone, like almost got that play out of the way for those waiting for J-Mo to break out or to see something in this game. That was great. And then, man, that double move, the touchdown pass, 52-yarder, that double move is what we saw prime J-Mo make college cornerbacks look like. And he did that. No, it wasn't Darius Williams, but it was an NFL cornerback out there, and he made him look silly. That was one of the most elite attribute or skills coming out of college for him. Literally, his what I just call the move, his double move, his double move. His ability to stop and start on a dime is as good as anybody in the league. It was so great to see him step up. Amon-Ra did not have a great game production wise, but now seeing J-Mo do this sets up this offense for the next few weeks.
JB, your turn. Your turn. Everybody gets a turn today.
Hey.
Town bite.
I told you last week. I told you on Friday.
You did.
It starts on Sunday. And what do we got right here? Touchdown, 121 yards. This is just the beginning. And I know everyone had Amon-Ra having an amazing game. But, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the whole team. And J-Mo went out there and kind of just took over for the most part of this whole thing. I wish he would have got that second touchdown that got picked off. But I'm just saying right now, this was the start. And everyone can just pipe down about the controversy of him being a bust. Now all of that is gone.
The beautiful thing is you actually called for him for 1,500 yards, and you did. And I thought that it was a bit of a overzealous prediction, to put it nicely, but he's on that pace right now, man. And if he does it, you will look like an absolute prophet. You're already one of the smartest people I know. If you actually predict a 1,500-yard season for J-Mo, then you're a full-on genius. But out of everything that came out of this game, out of everything that came with Jameson Williams, the most important thing of it all to everybody in this room is that I never doubted him for even a second. Not even a second. I'm kidding. Put down your pitchforks. I'm kidding. Okay. Obviously, I have a lot of crow to eat today. I didn't expect him to have that kind of an impact.
But did crow ever taste so good?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I at least appreciate that this show is going to let me eat the crow and enjoy it at the same time. I can't say the same for 11-1, but we shall see later.
Shout out to the president.
Here's the reality. Jameson Williams, at least in terms of skill positions, was the best player on the field. If Penei Sewell's on the field, I'm always going to default to him, especially when you see that last drive in overtime. But for all intents and purposes, Jameson Williams was the best player on the field. After that, like when it was 3-3.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Let's actually get a look at that route right now. That double move on old ass Tre'Davious White. Got him. Tre'Davious White had no chance, man. And that was something that I thought could be a key to this game. When Tre'Davious White was your healthiest corner, and he's somebody who really has a lot of tread on the tire, even though he's not that old. He's missed 30 games in the last 3 years, and he's no match for the speed and this route running ability of Jameson Williams. But where I got to give J-Mo a lot of credit is that when it was 3-3 and the Lions got that big 4th down stop on the Rams, one of the things that we talked about on the show or at the watch party with myself, Neil, and Spencer Raxter was that somebody was going to make a big play. And obviously stopping the Rams on 4th down was a huge play, but then following that up immediately with a 36-yard catch and run for Jameson Williams when he was running wide open down the middle, that was absolutely huge. And then later on in that drive, he got an end around for I believe 13 yards to put the Lions in the red zone. And then they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. And we all know what happened on the next drive. See that Jamison Williams touchdown on that get absolutely torching Tre'Davious White to put him up 17-3. Jamison Williams sparked the team. He was the best offensive player on the team. He was arguably the best player on the field, and he was absolutely brilliant. All the crow in the world I have to eat today. I'm not going to play that routine of I was just trying to motivate him and whatnot. Mike G, I appreciate your olive branch. I'm not going to take that. Sometimes you just have to sit back and let people clown you a little bit, because I have been, and I will admit it, I have been the A1 JMO hater probably in Detroit sports media. And there's probably not a close second. And today I just have to sit back, let you guys talk your shit, and shut the F up. And just give him praise. And that's what I'm doing.
And you know what? Broder brought up a good point about the schemes that were being run. Even on the interception last night, there was a spy, just a safety spy on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just they had this guy covered up, and it was dope to see the other playmakers go out there and step up. Even Jahmyr Gibbs, just under average 4 yards a carry, 11 attempts, 40 yards. And 4 receptions for 34 yards too, 74 total yards for the game. That's a good game for Jahmyr Gibbs. And I really like what Amon-Ra St. Brown brought, not just when blocking for his fellow receivers, but there were several games, and we continued to call it out on the on the watch party show yesterday too at Hayes Social. There were several plays where you see David Montgomery get like an 8-yard run, but who's out in front of the pack? Stopping a safety who's coming down to try and stop the gap. St. Brown was literally there. There was one play where David Montgomery plows through and Amon-Ra falls back on him because he's blocking. What if he's not there? And so it's like, yo, I love how gritty this team is. They didn't say they were sexy. They didn't say that they were pretty. They said that they're gritty. And that's what we saw last night. And when it was time to rely on that, because you can talk a good game about your identity, but when it's time to actually whip it out, put it on the table, theirs actually measured up to what they've been saying all along. It's not just a marketing campaign. It's not. It's real. It's their identity. Detroit Lions, man.
Well,
what a win. What a victory Monday.
And to piggyback off of that, to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes, 3 catches for 13 yards. It doesn't look great in the stat sheet. But Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care what his numbers are as long as the Lions get the win, as long as he's able to contribute in a multitude of ways. And I have a lot of respect for this player, so don't think that this is hate, but would you expect, for example, a wide receiver like Terrell Owens to be okay if they won games but he didn't get his numbers? I mean, you saw him basically ruin his relationship with Donovan McNabb on the Eagles in a lot of ways because he just wasn't always getting his targets. I mean, Keyshawn Johnson literally wrote a book called Give Me the Damn Ball. The point is that wide receivers are oftentimes a position where they're prone to be divas.
Yep.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is the farthest thing from that. He does not give a damn. Nobody's happier for Jamison Williams than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nobody's happier to do the dirty work than Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's one of the hallmarks of this team. And we know, and he knows, the game where he gets 10 catches for $140 and a touchdown, it's coming. Everybody's going to get their turn because this offense is just so diverse.
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe after the initial, individual shock of his own of just having, 2 catches for 13 yards, I think he wakes up the happiest, most excited Lions player
who he is
on the team. Not just because JMO produced, finally, he's starting to break out, but because the fact that JMO produced, what that means for St. Brown moving forward, that makes his job so much easier. Now there's proof in the pudding. Now there's film out there of JMO doing things at the NFL level, even with a little bit of consistency. So DC's moving forward have to account for that. And that's going to leave this middle of the field just a little bit that much more open for St. Brown. We saw yesterday, after that 36-yard completion, the middle of the field, it immediately opened up. Granted, he didn't get, he didn't get 5 catches the next couple of plays, but the middle of the field opened up just with that one big play from JMO. St. Brown, he's got to be thrilled that now defensive coordinators got to think about that guy too.
Exactly. I was wondering, I was going to ask you guys, do you think JMO put some stuff on tape that defensive coordinators have to think about? Because Sean McVay, as much as I do believe he had some really, really, really good points in that game last night, the Detroit Lions were able to counter because Jamison Williams was exactly who Dan Campbell said he was. He put him in a wide receiver 2 slot, and now we know there's nothing. We absolutely know now. There's nothing just given. These guys are going out there and they are earning these spots.
He had his best game as a pro, and in a dominant game. It wasn't just his best game as a pro. It was a dominant wide receiver game. I mean, he's on like a 2,000-yard pace. After just game one, I understand, but that's why I had to preface this at the beginning and say JB's 1,500-yard prediction, he may be the ultimate prophet. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it has to happen, but this was, as I said, not just a great game for Jameson Williams. It was one of the best games any receiver had all weekend. I didn't expect that, and he's slowly proving me wrong, and he may make me look like a huge fool. He's in the process of making me look like a huge fool, and that's okay. I can take it. I will take my crow. I will let you guys talk all of your shit, especially if he continues to have games like this.
Hey, David DeWitt from the chat says, Sam is so mad about it.
I'm not mad. I mean, here's the thing, though. I'm sitting here and humbly eating my crow. How silly would it look if I double downed and nitpicked? I get it. If you want to say that it's me flip-flopping, fine, go ahead. But I just call it like I see it, and Jameson Williams absolutely dominated that football game. Sparked the two biggest touchdown drives of the game. Honestly, it was the only two regulation touchdown drives of the game. If Jameson Williams isn't out there, who knows what happens? One of them was literally a 56-yard drive, and 52 of it was a Jameson Williams touchdown catch bomb. So shout out J-Mo.
And it was against Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and LA Rams. Not some has-been, not some underrun. It's against a playoff caliber team that, you know what? All across the national landscape, who the frick was picking the Rams? Everybody. That was the wildest thing to me. But the Detroit Lions showed, you in a playoff caliber atmosphere, you in a playoff caliber matchup, we're still those guys. It's made me so much more encouraged for the rest of the season because you're right, they went out there, and I think that they showed one trait you have to. Do we want them to play perfect? Of course. Are they ever going to? No. But to know that this team can play their C game and still win, that's a trait you have to have. They're not going to play perfect. So if you know they still have some type of recipe to salvage the burnt dish, you know what? That's what you need in a year like this with Super Bowl expectations.
100%. And guys, as excited as this Jameson Williams conversation has been, and it's been exciting.
Oh, yeah.
How would you guys like to talk about Kirby Joseph? Oh, I'm sure you guys are dying. I'm sure we're all dying to hear about Kirby Joseph.
That's big bat energy.
Hey, but first, I got to tell you about Woodward and Maine, the show that preceded our show today, Wake Up Woodward, a show that features Matthew Broder and Terry Foster.
Legends.
On game day, Wake Up with Woodward and Maine. On Victory Mondays, Wake Up with Woodward and Maine. Just keep Woodward and Maine in your life. Your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star and one of our co-hosts on Wake Up Woodward, Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And of course, you gotta watch that pregame show. If you guys tuned in to Neil Rule and Sean Baligian in that atmosphere, it was absolutely electric. They do a phenomenal job. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Baligian bring you the best Lions pregame show. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to the Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Hey, KDK Law got your back. You already know that Woodward Sports and Waco Woodward has your back. Chat family, you guys are the most important part of this entire WUW Crew production, and we need you guys to have our backs. Go ahead and smash that like button. Run it up, run it up, run it up. There are incentives this Victory Monday as well. So if we hit those goals, we got 1 merch giveaway. If we hit the second goal, 4 merch giveaways. And you know what? I saw a lot of Boodum Kids shirts from people that showed up to different events that we were hosting for our Lions game day coverage. So shout out to the chat family for always supporting. But I know we got to talk about Kirby Joseph, but somebody who I thought played some pretty good defense, and I probably should have mentioned this when we were talking about, all the grit that this guy brings to the table, is Amon-Ra St. Brown's pass breakup.
Yeah.
I forget exactly the situation, but I remember he was coming across the middle. It was a big spot in the game. He tripped, was able to lunge, though, and just batted down and probably saved the game.
It was on the drive in which the Lions would eventually tie the score at 20 to send it to overtime. Jared Goff throws a pass over the middle. Amon-Ra St. Brown loses his footing. It looks like that Jared Goff pass is going straight to the Rams defensive back, but then Amon-Ra St. Brown has the presence of mind to knock it down, play pseudo defensive back, and really save the game. And that's just another example of Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is just one of those games where he didn't get his numbers. He didn't get the targets. He didn't get the production in terms of receptions and yards, but he put his imprint on the game. And those games will come. Those games will be coming. Trust me. Amon-Ra St. Brown still is going to have a big statistical season.
Oh, definitely. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have a big year for the Detroit Lions. But I'm so glad, like Broder said, he's not a diva, but somebody who I am so glad he's somewhat of a diva. And he got an interception last night. It's our guy. Woo! Curbs. What we were already talking about it last week. What if, after all the yapping, and we were like, people were like, why y'all keep talking about Stafford? Why y'all keep talking about Stafford? And then the LA Rams official account had to go and put out that stupid last interview where he's talking about it again. Oh yeah, he's such a dirty player. He got it on tape, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes out there and he gets a clean interception. I'm talking about that was a coverage interception. He played that so perfectly. Not tipped, not this, not that. And if he wasn't there, it's probably trouble for the Detroit Lions. What an interception, man.
That was
poetry.
As poetic as can possibly be. It's the opposite. I mean, for the Rams, it's their own version of a Shakespearean tragedy, but for the Lions, it's poetic justice. I mean, what do you think Matthew Stafford did? He went up to Kirby after the game and said, that's a really good end zone pick, but you're dirty as hell, bro. And Kirby Joseph, I got to give credit to him because I've been critical at times, but ever since he's put on a Detroit Lions uniform, he just has that nose for the football. He led the team in interceptions his rookie year, last year, and look at that. He adds Matthew Stafford to the list of kids that he has fathered that already includes Aaron Rodgers. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you're talking about some players that you love to see Kirby Joseph get interceptions against, are there any more that you'd want it against than Rams version Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers? And Kirby Joseph has that in droves. And let's just talk about the situation in the game.
Yeah.
The Rams were looking to, it was 2nd and goal at the 8, down 10-3 with a chance to tie the game going into the half. But instead, Matthew Stafford is forced to throw the ball off his back foot because of a nice dual pressure from Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport. And then he lofts it, Mr. Cannon Arm lofts it into the waiting arms of Kirby Joseph. probably one of the easiest interceptions he's ever going to have. And thank you, Matt Stafford. It was one of the most catchable balls he's ever thrown, but it just happened to go to, on his version, the right team, in his version, the wrong team, on our version, the right team. Kirby Joseph with some sweet, sweet vindication.
Hey, sweet vindication. Kirby Joseph. How did it make you feel last night, bro? Remember, we got this Victory Monday. He played such a big role, and it was like a movie. It was cinema.
Yeah, I'm getting used to seeing Kirby Joseph make clean plays on shitty Matt Stafford passes.
No.
Like,
Kirby's
it's now happened 2 games
Talk
in a
about
row. You know, we got vintage Matt Stafford throwing a red zone interception and vintage Kirby again. Remember this, making a clean play on a shitty Matt Stafford pass. I love it. And the poetry behind it, because how did the Rams get back into this game? Pretty sure Cameron Kitchens, a rookie safety, was that an unnecessary roughness penalty on Sam Laporta? Hitting high?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nasty hit, bro.
Regardless, it's more, I'm trying to make more of a joke of
I know.
Kirby is playing within the rules. Yeah, we don't want anybody to go after knees, and Kirby's not going after knees.
Neil does.
Let's be clear about that, but Kirby is playing within the rules. Look at what Cameron Kitchens, look at what that penalty did to the Los Angeles Rams. That lost them the game.
It was immediate field goal range.
Immediate.
And I get it. That 18-yard, that 18-yard catch by that throw and catch by Goff to Laporta. Nice throw, by the way. Nice catch. That was nice in and of itself. But that Cameron Kitchens helmet to helmet, it's just instant field goal range. And then all the Lions really had to do was just, because they eventually ended up kicking a field goal. You'd have liked to see him score a touchdown, but all you got to do at that point is just not turn the football over and run the clock down and get it to overtime. You literally have to do nothing else. And as I've talked about this before, that poetry with Cameron Kitchens for the Rams getting that helmet-to-helmet 15-yard penalty on Sam Laporta, I always say this. If you're the Rams, if you're angry at Kirby Joseph going at Tyler Higbee's knees, kind of going back to that, if you're Matthew Stafford and you're angry at that, I don't necessarily blame you. However, if Kirby Joseph hits Tyler Higbee high, gets that 15-yard penalty, the Lions might not win that playoff game at Ford Field against the Rams. It's within the confines of the rules. It just is. That wasn't penalized. And the hit by Cameron Kitchens was. That's why safeties go low. Yep. That's why they dive at knees. Because even if they try to get at the waist, maybe, and I get it, it's a little different because Tyler Higbee wasn't a ball carrier, but there are situations in which ball carriers lower their head, and you don't mean to target them, but you end up doing it. The safest way is to go at the knees. As much as we don't like it, it was a net positive for the Lions last year, and Cameron Kitchens, helmet-to-helmeting Sam Laporta, was a huge net negative for the Rams. That's why it's done.
Yep, and I wonder if Stafford ran up to Kitchens after that play. Like, hey, man, that's an already play. If it's about the safety of the game, right? You know, the NFL, it's not even like Kirby was fined. It's not even like he was flagged. It was a good play, and it was a big play. But last night, that hit on Sam Laporta, that was I'm not gonna call it dirty, but what a nasty hit that he took. It wasn't dirty. And to be able to pop up, it wasn't, but obviously it was illegal.
Right.
It was
right.
Illegal. And he was tough though. That's what I like most importantly is that this squad, it continues to go back to the identity of gritty. It doesn't matter because Dan Campbell said it from day one. This team is going to be one that when you knock us down, we're getting right back up. And and it's going to be with more aggression this time around. To understand how many people really believe that this guy was just going up there to try and get sound bites out of his press conference versus where we see this team today absolutely being in the mode, not trying to get to, being the mold of what he discussed on day one. It is beauty. It is a beauty.
It's the Lions are the bullies, and it's a wonderful thing. And the Lions have been the ones in these battles with the Rams that have came out on top at the end. It's just such a. And here we go. Look at this. This is the video of the pick. Matt Stafford throwing off his back foot right into the arms of Kirby Joseph.
Beautiful.
Like I said, you got to thank Matt Stafford for just handing out presents like that. That was I said this before. That was maybe the easiest, most catchable interception Kirby Joseph will ever have in his entire career. And I get it. It was off his back foot, but we always hear about how Matthew Stafford just has this cannon of an arm. But in that situation, he's just like, right in the hands of Kirby Joseph. And it was such a big play in that game. A huge play. The Lions might not win if they don't make that play. And that's how the NFL works. Make big plays, kill the momentum for the Rams, it was absolutely devastating. For the Lions, it was absolutely scintillating. So shout out Kirby Joseph and Matthew Stafford. Enjoy that interception in the stat column. I'll just say that.
Shout out to Tay Hopkins in the chat. He said golf was looking like Vic out there last night. Hey Tay, you ain't heard? Hendon Hooker already told y'all. It's Jared Goff, aka Vanilla Vic, out there mud. What a big first down pickup, man.
It was a big first down. And the funny thing is, it looked clunky, but it got the job done. It got the job done. And that's something that some fans, myself included, sometimes I will admit, have had complaints about. That 3rd and 6, it would be nice if he could scramble and get a first down. But you know what? He did it there. And he also had to kind of outrun and get the angle on that Rams safety in order to get said first down. So shout out, Broder. I'm sure you were the happiest man in the world watching that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was. Just finally seeing a DB actually catch the gift that was handed to them by Stafford, because Branch dropped a couple. Carlton Davis dropped one. It wasn't the best hands day for those DBs. They got to go get on the jugs machine with Amon-Ra St. Brown. But before we go to break, and I think we're talking about that defensive line, that pass rush, we showed a graphic up earlier of J-Mo. If you could put that up, JB, if you have it handy. Just got to give credit to, this is Notorious Detroit.
Yes,
you said JB?
Notorious Detroit with this graphic. It's an amazing graphic. I seen it last night on Twitter. I just had to play it for you guys as well too. I just love the picture all in itself. And besides, it's J-Mo. Like, come on, the man ate last night. You got to give this man credit. He deserves his own graphic. Let's be real.
He was dominant last night. And before we go to break, and I think this is the beauty of winning these games. Steve O'Baby, Jared Goff also had an interception too. You know what? Yeah. He did, and it wasn't good, but it didn't cost the Lions a win. And at the end of the day, I would say Jared Goff, even though he wasn't perfect, he did more positive things than negative.
Yeah.
Part of the beauty of playing the quarterback position is being able to have that short memory, and that interception did occur before they were able to drive it right down the field and tie the game with a field goal, before he made that great throw to Sam Laporta, which ultimately turned into a 33-yard gain via the personal foul. So to the victors go the spoils. That's the beautiful thing about winning the game.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Ski Mask Boy in the chat, one of the regulars. He said the Bears game was awesome. Hey, Victory Monday for the Lions is awesome. And I can tell you guys about something else that's awesome as well. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do, stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It is wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security automation and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed, because it is technology that is backed by people, and your safety and security It deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, our number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out, Stafford. Stay out, LA Rams. Stay out, Hollywood, man. This is Detroit, and this is how we rock, man. Woo, it's a Victory Monday. It's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. That right there, Flannel Sam. But today, it is Freddie Polo on a Victory Monday. We got Matthew Broder, our credential Tigers on the Lions reporter and writer, host of Woodward, man. There's a whole lot around this parts. That is Matthew Broder. Hey, shout out to that dude, Justin, KG, intern Chase, even Silent Mike. This WUW Crew family. And you know what? It's not complete without Woodward Sports' MVP. And since it's a Victory Monday, I know it's not Tuesday, but still, boof on a Victory Monday. Woodward Sports' MVP, JB-SMOOV. How you feeling this Victory Monday, man? We said it again.
Oh, man. Look. I'm excited for this Victory Monday. I'm still a little tired. Also, with the trip from Chicago, still a little worried about checking my bank account, but it'll be all right.
Shout out to Randall Smalls with the $5 super chat. We appreciate you. That was just as intense as Rams playoff game. Watch out this week against Baker. You know what, chat family? We already reached the first goal, so we got one merch giveaway. Pay attention to Broder in the chat, please, because he's going to be the key to you being able to be the one to potentially get that merch giveaway. And if we reach the second goal, guys, we increase this thing to 4 merch giveaways total. Let's rock. But we got to talk about this defensive line last night. And I know that there's one player in particular that you had your eye on. And I think that he acquitted himself well. I know a lot of people want this guy in Aiden Hutchinson to get home and get 50 sacks a game. But I believe that he was super aggressive last night at getting to the quarterback. And I saw some technique changes. And you know what? A big sack in game 1.
Yes, and I want to make this as crystal clear to the chat as possible. And I know most people are being reasonable and smart and will say that Hutch had himself a damn good game. But to those who aren't, let me just paint this picture for you. Despite all that you think that he's lacking or the times where he didn't get home early in the game, Aiden Hutchinson is literally on a 17-sack, 68 quarterback hit pace on a 1-0 team that gave up 20 points. And 20 points a game would make you a top 10 scoring defense last year. So I'm just saying, I thought Aiden Hutchinson had himself a hell of a game. I've never seen a motor better than his on any NFL football player I've ever seen. That man plays hard every single play. He works his ass off. And you know what else I saw too? I actually saw what I believe to be a really good bookend edge rusher performance because Marcus Davenport had himself a game as well. He was in Matthew Stafford's face all day.
The additions, I thought overall from Amit, Carlton Davis, and Davenport, I thought that they all showed up in some big spots last night. But when you talk about Aiden Hutchinson, in the past, we would be saying, you know what? He didn't get a sack that game, but he got all the pressures, and it was because of the chips, the blocks, the this, the that. And last night to actually see him get a sack in the stat column, it was satisfying for me because you already know what the narrative is if he doesn't get a sack. Even though we saw him, we sat and we watched the game and we looked at the impact that he made. How many times does Stafford have to go away from his downfield progressions and check it off to the receiver that's doing the drag 2, 3, 4 yards right in front of him, or check down to the running back that's out the right or to the left. That's what we saw last night. And every time Aiden Hutchinson was in that backfield, I noticed that Stafford had to get rid of that ball quickly. And it seems like it's easy to miss that type of impact because it's not the flashy, sexy play that fills up the stat column that is sacks. That's why I'm so happy that he was able to register one. And I'm hoping that people continue to look at the fact that I believe already in game 1, he's showing that he's even different, a little bit better animal than he was last season.
Well, and I want to paint another picture for you guys because we have to give some credit to Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. I believe that Sean McVay, especially with his 2 tackles being hurt, they tried to scheme the defensive line out of the game, get those short passes and 3-step drops to Cooper Kupp and Kobe Parkinson and Puka Nacua at the beginning, and later on guys like Tyler Johnson and DeMarcus Robinson. that was working. I saw multiple times where Hutch would basically bitch his man, but when Stafford's is just like, back, throw, there's really nothing you can do about it. But watching Aiden Hutchinson, like, I really was keyed in on him for most of the game. Just watching him win almost just constantly. And look, there's the sack right there to close out regulation. Nobody earned that sack late at the end of regulation more than Aiden Hutchinson did for all the work that he did as well. And the picture that I wanted to paint was that despite the fact that the Rams, they had some success through the air. Cooper Kupp had a hell of a game. Tyler Johnson had a hell of a game. Puka Nacua looked like he was on track to have a hell of a game. Kobe Parkinson as well. Despite the fact that they were able to get rid of the ball, I think Matthew Stafford, for the most part, on time and untouched. It was nice. When you look at the stat sheet and when you watch the game, it makes sense. The Lions hit Matthew Stafford 12 times. 12.
Ooh.
They made Matthew Stafford feel it. Marcus Davenport and Aiden Hutchinson each hit Matthew Stafford 4 times. And we all know Aiden Hutchinson got a sack. And then we saw earlier on in the game where Marcus Davenport and Levi Onwuzurike shared one, which was great to see Levi Onwuzurike make a play as well. So I thought the defensive line played great. I think that the strengths of this defense, honestly, were, I would say, Kirby Joseph making a play, Alex Anzalone, and then the defensive line.
Yeah, and you know what? The starters mainly getting up to game speed, game contact, game hits, and getting comfortable. Man, it was so cool to see this defense when I thought that, okay, is Dan Gamble going to go for it? And obviously you can't go for it in that situation. You got to punt, and you got to trust your defense. But honestly, I was wondering, what is he going to do here? Because it's a big spot. The defense has just gotten torched a couple times by Matthew Stafford. But he trusted them. And they came up big for the Detroit Lions, and they were able to send this thing to overtime, where then they relied on the offense and their more, kind of their safe, less risky approach, trusting the legs and the power of David Montgomery. Those kind of like the last, 2-3 minutes or 2-3 drives of fourth quarter and then that overtime, that to me looked like a Lions team who was finally shaking the preseason and the training camp rust and getting more into what we want to see out of this Detroit Lions team. I hope it aids them in even a more balanced game and a more stable game next week.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Broder, were you happy with the way the defensive line, particularly the pass rush, played overall?
I was. I actually, my only concern, it's not even a concern, we didn't hear Lee McNeil's name too often.
Yeah.
And I thought they should have been able to dominate the interior of that offensive line with having the Rams having to put so many resources out on Hutch and Davenport. But no, I'm sure you saw too, Flannel, all over social media. People were ripping on Hutch, A, all game, and then B, after that sack, it's, well, here's old Hutchinson getting in the stat sheet in garbage time.
What?
That's not garbage time. That was one of the bigger plays. Like, I don't know what happens if he doesn't sack Stafford there, so that was huge. But the reason you drafted Hutch 2 overall, the reason you ran that draft pick into the commissioner when he was still on the board, thank you, Jacksonville, thank you, is because of his motor. And it's a cliche phrase, but his motor shows up at the beginning of the game and the very last play. That's what he does. He'll connect. He'll get his sack numbers. He got one. He's still in the defensive player of the year conversation, but what you want on Aiden Hutchinson is someone to be a menace all game long, where you just have to funnel resources towards him. Not everyone's going to have the connection that Stafford and Kupp have. You hope maybe Aaron Glenn plays a little more press coverage or makes some adjustments. But at the end of the day, again, there could have been 4 interceptions.
Yep.
Like, there were 4 dropped interceptions. Part of that goes to the defensive line. Brian Branch, I didn't think played a very good game.
No.
He might have 2. He might have 2 next year. This defense, 20 points to the Rams, even though depleted, they're on the way up. They're trending up. DJ Reader didn't play. If he didn't play, we didn't hear Aleem's name. I like the Marcus Davenport. That dude is big.
Yeah,
that dude is huge.
Is there anything more to, with James Houston? I was a little surprised that he was what was considered a healthy scratch, especially with us believing that we need that depth amongst the edge rushers.
Yeah, I was obviously very surprised that James Houston didn't play, but as I said before, at least for this game, Marcus Davenport was the perfect bookend to Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, if we even go back to give another example of them making an impact on that Kirby Joseph interception in the red zone of Matthew Stafford, it looked like that Marcus Davenport and Aiden Hutchinson were at a collision course to meet at Matthew Stafford. And that's why Matthew Stafford had to throw off his back foot and get no zip on the throw that ended up getting intercepted. So I guess to answer your question, you got to give the coaching staff some credit because they obviously believed in Marcus Davenport a lot more than some of us did. They see what goes on in practice every single day. And as much as some people were disappointed that Matthew Stafford didn't get sacked as often that maybe we would have liked, I believe 2 times, I didn't think that James Houston was like a glaring absence, that it's like, oh my goodness, where is James Houston? The Lions aren't getting any pressure. Maybe it was the right move for that game. Hopefully James Houston isn't healthy scratched too often moving forward, though.
Yeah, definitely. Man.
He's also injury insurance because Marcus Davenport does have some issues with that.
Yep.
And Levi O, for the record, Levi O played some defensive end as well. Something that he's capable of doing. And with this hopefully being his breakout season, maybe there's more depth and a diverse set of skills on that defensive line than even we thought.
Yeah, and you know, I know we want to talk a little bit about the Lions and Aaron Glenn, his bend but don't break defense. Yep. It came through again versus the Rams. Yep. It absolutely came through, especially in a big spot last night where they needed to get the ball back in the defense, man. They played stout. And I think that Aaron Glenn had them in position to make the plays, and we're going to talk about it, but you mentioned that insurance. I can tell you where you guys got to go to get your insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your current insurance provider reviewed. Why? Because Swiss Insurance will make sure your current carrier is not slipping in anything extra.
Take that.
Including extra fees. No, Diddy. All you got to do is call our guy Mark at 313-530-1698 or visit them online, swissins.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep. Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Yo, woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. Merch is dropping every single week for you guys. You know we got the Stoke Not Scared, which I hope you were wearing at Ford Field last night. If you weren't, I hope you were wearing the hashtag Boo Them Kids, which I know myself and Freddie Felt out in Chicago was rocking over the weekend. You know, you had those Bears fans out there. We don't really care about you guys, but hashtag Boo the Kids out now. And you also got the Woodward Tigers as well too. Hey, that wild card spot, it's not out of the question. I'm just saying. But do yourself a favor, head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, get some new merch for yourself. Deck out Ford Field, baby.
Let's go. Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off today with the WUW Crew. And it is a Victory Monday, so that means it is a celebration. Everything is Lions on the docket today. And I'm sure that is to the likings of the chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of everything that we do here at Woodward Sports, especially with Wake Up Woodward. Go on ahead and smash that like button to support the WUW Crew. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, it's the type of stuff that we depend on including you guys' support. It's been a great start to Victory Monday. It's your boy Brandon Den, aka Detroit Kool-Aid. Right there, we got Flannel Sam, the vet of the network. We also got Matthew Broder, our credentialed Tigers and our Lions reporter and writer, also host of Woodward and Maine. A lot of Lions coverage, man. Hey, shout out to KG, that dude Justin, intern Chase, Silent Mike, and Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB-SMOOV. Celebrating with the family, man, on a Victory Monday. It's been a great day. And you know what? The Lions, some of the characteristics that got them as far as they did last year, we saw them in that game last night. Obviously, they beat the Rams in the playoffs, and last night's game, it looked kind of similar in some regards, in certain respects. It was a heavyweight battle, and Detroit Lions came out on top again. And one of the things that they can thank, especially as the game got more and more tight, is the Lions' bend but don't break defense. It came through against the Rams, no matter what you want to say about what that defense did. And we discussed this all last season. People, they were trying to say why this defense was going to let the Lions down, even as it relates to their pursuit of a division title and a playoff win. But they continue to show that between the 20s, they could be pretty stout.
Well, and this is what, and this is,
in the red zone.
I really want to paint this picture for you guys because we saw the Rams in the first half in particular really seem to miss a lot of opportunities to get more points. But to really paint this picture and to really hammer it home just how many missed opportunities the Rams had and just how well the Lions were playing bend but don't break defense, whether intentionally or not. The Rams had 3 drives in the first half that got to the Lions 19, the Lions 23, and the Lions 8 respectively. And out of those drives, they scored a grand total of 3 points. Once they settled for a field goal, once that end zone interception from Stafford to Kirby, and then another time when they would have had a chance to kick a field goal and go ahead 6-3. Instead, they went for it on 4th and 4 and didn't convert. And that was kind of the hallmark of last year's playoff game against the Rams. The Rams would get to the red zone, but more often than they would have liked, had to kick field goals. And that gets you wins in the NFL. If you can take the heart, if you can demoralize a team, if the Rams, in this example, the Rams can get so close so many times and come away with 3 points in those drives, where basically you had 3 drives in the red zone and you come up with 3 points in the first half, the Rams probably felt like they should have at least been tied at the half. That's how you take a team's heart. And it's harder as an offense to perform in the red zone because the field gets shorter, and that's something that the Lions can use to their advantage. And against this Rams team, they have done so, both in this game and in last year's divisional playoff game.
Yeah, you need your team, especially if you're going to be a leader, the defensive coordinator, a leader of that defense, to be able to step up in those moments, in the red zone, late in games, late in halves. And they did that. They forced Sean McVay to make, honestly, some questionable decisions when he was kicking field goals or not kicking field goals. It almost feels like he was influenced by Dan Campbell's aggressive mentality, not knowing what he should do. Should they try to keep the ball out of the hands of the Lions offense? It affected them a lot. But to see him, and again, I don't think it was Aaron Glenn's best coached or schemed or called game, but I do think there were many plays where the players were actually in the right position and didn't make the play. Whether it was a drop passes or some tackling issues that they had earlier in the game, and it was like, middle of the third quarter, there were a couple plays where they were just missing tackles. That one, Tyler Johnson, the long play, where Brian Branch kind of over pursued. It wasn't a perfectly played game out of the players, not perfect out of Aaron Glenn, but I'm not any less confident in Aaron Glenn after yesterday.
Well, and you mentioned it. One person, and I don't want to belabor this because the Lions won and we're going to be positive. You said it earlier. Brian Branch didn't have his best day. He missed a key tackle at the beginning, and you said that Tyler Johnson catch and run. It was both Brian Branch and Carlton Davis, who basically Tyler Johnson just stopped on a dime and basically made Carlton Davis and Brian Branch whiff, and he takes it 66 yards. But what's beautiful about this game is that I can segue that into the bend but don't break defense. That 66-yard catch and run. The Lions, the Rams were down 17-10. The Rams had the ball 1st and goal from the 1. They couldn't punch it in like the Lions could do when it was David Montgomery and like they could do when it was Jahmyr Gibbs. They couldn't punch it in. And then they decided that in order to penetrate this Lions run defense, they had to instead go with an end around, which leads to a Rams holding penalty on Aiden Hutchinson. Another circumstance where the Rams had 1st and goal at the 1 and settled for a field goal. At that point, watching the game, I almost conceded, all right, the Rams are going to tie it up. And I was a little bit depressed, and I was like, oh boy, we got ourselves a game. But the holding penalty made it so that, it gets to a point where it's more likely to hold him to a field goal than not. And the Lions did just that. It is that bend but don't break offense. I mean, think about this. If you want me to further paint the picture, the Rams had 4 drives in that game that made it to the Lions 19, 23, 8, and 1. And got 6 points. 6 points. If I'm the Rams, if I'm Sean McVay, if I'm Stafford, if I'm their defense, their coaching staff, their GM, their fans, I am sick to my stomach right now. But it makes it that much more sweet that the Rams probably felt like they let one slip away, and the Lions march off of Ford Field victorious and happy, and our fans and all of us in the media are on one right now. So
absolutely,
shout out Ben, but don't break.
Shout out Ben, but don't break. What up, though, honey? It's a victory Monday, man. It's a victory Monday. But you're absolutely right. Like with me, with the Aaron Glenn stuff, and I get it. He's not going to be perfect. Nobody is. But if you got the team in position where they whiffed on maybe 2 or 3 sacks in addition to those 4 interceptions, I think that's a pretty good job. And you know what? Sometimes I wonder now. The more and more that he stacks together seasons and games where this team is holding opponents to 20 games under, 20 points or under, you know what I'm saying, or plus or minus around there. He's stout in the red zone where it matters, where it's big boy. At some point in time, do we look at him the way that we look at Jared Goff? It's okay, he's not doing it the way you guys want him to get there, but when you look at the production, and you look at the fact that his players on defense are having some success and they're depending on young players, and this team is still holding squads to 20 points or less, around there. At some point in time, you got to say, you know what? He's getting the job done.
Well, I think you're on the right track. I think that Aaron Glenn, he still has some things to prove.
Yeah.
Now he has more of a full cupboard of talent on the defense, talent that's going to be supplemented even more by DJ Reader when he comes back and Iffy when he comes back. I've never said Aaron Glenn is perfect. If you have some criticisms, I'm not going to fight you on that too hard. But at the end of the day, when you give up 20 points to a Matthew Stafford-led offense, you expect to win that game 100% of the time. Is it perfect? No. Did they give up too many yards, particularly in the passing game? More than you would like. But this is the National Football League. Nobody's going to hold the Los Angeles Rams to, 10 points. It's just not going to happen. Offenses are capable in this league. This is a league that is catered to offenses having success as opposed to defenses. You're going to give up some points. You're going to give up some yards. If the Lions' defense continues to play like this all season where they're at least stout in the red zone, I'm cool with that. If they start playing with fire too much and they have a game where they give up 35 and lose, then we can have a different conversation. But for now, I don't have a whole lot to nitpick about. Not perfect, but the Lions got a victory. It's hard to win in the NFL.
And it's Victory Monday. We got a whole week to be able to break down what we want to see this team do better. Shout out to Brandon Hasso in the chat. Great name, by the way. He says the Rams only scored 20 points. Their last 8 games, including the wild card game, they were averaging 29 points. RD was good. And how many points did they score in that wild card game?
23.
So you're telling me that the Detroit Lions, in 2 games, I don't know how many teams during that run, during that 8 games, I don't know how many teams played the Rams twice. They couldn't figure out their offense. But for some reason, the Detroit Lions got them averaging, 21.5 points a game?
Yeah.
That's good defense. What are we talking about with Aaron Glenn? Just the same thing that people do with Jared Goff. Oh, he doesn't look the way that that Patrick Mahomes or Matthew Stafford does. But, bro, at the end of the season, look where he's lined up. Always top 5 to top 7 in stats, and people want to question if he is that guy. Aaron Glenn right now is putting together a run where this defense is holding teams that put up points, to well below what they average. And one of those, top 10, top 12, top 13 teams as it relates to holding teams at that scoring average. I think that Aaron Glenn is doing a good job, but you want to see him get a little bit better. I agree with that.
Of course, he needs to get better. Broder, I wanna tie a nice bow on this. Do you think the bend but don't break I wouldn't say approach because nobody wants to do that, but just the way that that game sort of played its way out. Is that something that's sustainable for this defense moving forward?
I think it is. I think it is, and it's sort of hard to. It's hard for me to sound confident saying that because it's like you want your defense to just dominate every single game. But again, the NFL is about matchups. It's about creative, innovative offensive minds like Ben Johnson, like Sean McVay, like Kyle Shanahan, finding ways to get their star players or to get their weapons the ball in space. And there will be games where you're gonna. We saw it a lot last year. Look different with Cam Sutton out there and just giving up 250 yards to Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. This looked different with Cooper Kupp, but he had his, 14 catches?
Yeah.
He got his, but they were able to put their resources elsewhere, take advantage of some of the other matchups. Matt Stafford and Kupp, they almost won it with that connection, but they were good enough. The Lions defense was good enough to make up for it yesterday. So there will be games. We play the Vikings. We play teams with superstar players that are going to have good games. It's what are the other guys doing? We saw Wingo step up, Levi O. Even my guy Chris Smith from Cranbrook. Like, he had a tackle and had a couple good plays. They're getting Reader back. They're getting Iffy. Eventually, Houston. We just want to see him get better.
Yes. And speaking of the defense, I want to do a quick break, but we have to at least do a segment. We got to shout out our man, Alex Anzalone.
Yes,
I feel like I've gone way too long without giving that man his praise when he was arguably the defensive MVP from last night. But first, I got to tell you about Mark White, who could be the offensive MVP of an NFL team if he shows off those hops. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for this football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. Go to their website at sorokis.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is a Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with Woodward Sports' morning show and the WUW Crew, man. Victory Monday. And I know you want to talk about Alex Anzalone. I think that he is a guy who did make life a little bit difficult for Matthew Stafford. I keep hearing people talking about, but he threw for 317 yards. That's what I keep hearing. Shout out to Jerry Alexander and our chat family. They get it. Stafford threw the ball 49 times to get to 317 yards. That is like an NBA player getting 30 points on 30 shot attempts. Very low efficiency. Jim Richards. Hey, shout out to you, man. One of our Woodward Pistons supporters, too. It took Stafford 49 attempts to get to 317 yards. The defense wasn't great, but they looked much better to me. He had a passer rating of 85 and a guy, honestly, who balled out and was probably the defensive MVP of the game yesterday, Alex Anzalone, man. And you wanted to make sure you gave him some love.
That might have been the best game I've ever seen him play with the Lions. I remember at the very beginning of the game, on the very first Rams drive, there were 2 Alex Anzalone tackles for loss, and we were just going crazy. And he led the team in tackles. He basically was telling Jack Campbell, I know he wasn't actually trying to do this, but it's like, okay, Jack Campbell, this is still my linebacking room. I'm El Capitano. I am the one who's...
They provoked him.
Yes, I'm the one who's fixing to make a Pro Bowl this season. And if Alex Anzalone keeps playing like this, 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, was all over the field. There were a couple of plays that I remember very vividly. I can't really place exactly when. The beginning, of course, with those 2 tackles for loss where Matthew Stafford would be getting pressure and he had to kind of throw a little swing pass to a Kyron Williams or something. And Alex Anzalone was right there waiting for the running back to bring him down for no gain or a loss. And I mentioned before, and I know this sounds cliche, but that is assignment sound football. When you flush Matthew Stafford, you make him deliver it before he's ready, just in the flat. Somebody's got to be there waiting for that running back, and that man was Alex Anzalone. He was all over the field. He looked faster than I've ever seen him. It seems like he's aging like fine wine right now, and he was absolutely phenomenal. If he plays like this, Pro Bowl season loading.
Hey, Pro Bowl season loading. Shout out to Josh Windler in the chat as well. I see you, chat family, man. Y'all have been absolutely on one. He says, can we just normalize calling Anzalone Thor, please? I mean, look, he's definitely bringing the hammer, bro. The Rams definitely knew who Alex Anzalone was last night, and I'm hoping that he has them chirping, crying, and complaining, just like he had DJ Moore and the Bears complaining last year. And I kept saying, these linebackers, y'all already know how I feel about the linebackers. This was the position group that they didn't make any additions to, not through the draft or free agency, meaning they were looking forward to Jack Campbell, what we saw out of Derek Barnes last year, and Alex Anzalone to step up. And maybe the addition was, all right, Jack Campbell's looking better. That's what they told us. And then they provoked Alex Anzalone. They said, well, we think that Jack Campbell is finally the guy to take over the duties. And then Alex Anzalone came out in game 1 and said, that's nice, but I got another level to get to.
Well, and I still think that the year 2 leap for Jack Campbell is coming. And we saw some nice play out of him last night as well. Just imagine if Alex Anzalone continues this, and I get it, it's just one game, continues this excellent play, and Jack Campbell takes a leap. Top 10 defense loading. I'm just saying. Like, as it was, they only gave up 20 points to the Rams. And by the way, as I said at the beginning, 20 points a game would have given you a top 10 scoring defense last year. And we saw some things that were, I wouldn't say uncertain, is that a lot of people weren't as bullish on the Marcus Davenport signing, for example. And I thought Marcus Davenport and Hutch were perfect bookend edge rushers for that game. We were talking about Jack Campbell potentially being the, I don't know about if linebacker 1 is a thing, but you understand, leading this team in tackles and, having more of those splash plays. And we're still, I believe, going to see that from Jack Campbell, but you got it in droves with Alex Anzalone. I mean, you might as well call him after that game to like Alex Spielman or Chris Anzalone. Seriously. That's what Alex Anzalone was yesterday.
It was the spirit of Dick Campbell last night.
Yes, the spirit of Dick Campbell overtook Alex Anzalone. He was amazing. They're calling him the meat missile in the chat now. And by the way, Broder, we're talking about calling Alex Anzalone Thor. Is it safe to say that Noah Syndergaard has vacated that title?
Oh, yeah.
It's Alex Anzalone
Yeah,
now.
he lost his fastball a couple years ago. It's now Alex Anzalone's for sure. For sure. And you talk, it is just one game, but this is what he's been doing over his entire Lions career. And that's what Dan Campbell loves. Just keep getting better and better. And he's turning himself into a Pro Bowl player. And there's some people in the chat that are saying, could it lead to an all-pro? Linebacker is a very difficult decision. Very difficult decision, but he is improving. It's pushing Jack Campbell. Big M in the chat had just put Campbell and Anzalone flipping positions is a huge plus for the Lions. It's tough for quarterbacks to key in on who's the Mike linebacker. When you got Anzalone playing like that, setting the tone from the very first play of the game,
Very first play
This
of the game.
this team is scary. He gets $6 million a year. We got him for another year after
I
this.
remember you, talking people off of a ledge last season when you were covering the Lions. And you told people, I'm close to the team. I'm telling you guys, he does perform on the field, and there's some intrinsic things there. And a lot of people were still wondering. We've been wondering since Alex Anzalone was Dan Campbell's guy for linebacker. And all he continues to do is prove that they're shot callers.
Captain.
They keep saying, listen, guys, we know what we're doing, man. And when we don't, I promise you, we'll get rid of him. If Alex Anzalone wasn't ever going to be this guy, I don't think that he lasts this long on the Detroit Lions roster. But they know exactly who he is. And I'm telling you, man, the provocation this summer.
It should maybe give you
awesome.
some added confidence in Marcus Davenport, too, which to me, it all relies on him being healthy. But they went and plucked Anzalone from New Orleans, just like they went and plucked Marcus Davenport from Minnesota via New Orleans. Like, when they see a guy that they like, they stay loyal to him. And they got 2 linebackers as part of their 6 captains. Anzalone being one of those, that means something.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And before we go to break and hit what's trending with JB-SMOOV, Alex Anzalone did have 13 tackles last night. And Chase, I know you don't have a mic, but I have to mention this. We had a conversation. Well, I think you were in the chat that day where you talked about Jack Campbell potentially getting 170 tackles, and I'm like, dude, that's pretty overzealous. Alex Anzalone is 13 a game is a lot more than 170. I'm not saying he's going to get that. It's just Chase's point is that it's more plausible than you think for somebody to get it, especially in a 17-game season. I'm not saying 170 tackles or bust or Pro Bowl or bust. It's just that Alex Anzalone, I just wanted to shout him out because to me, that is the best game he's ever played as a pro.
Yeah, and Jack did have 7 tackles last night.
He did.
I want to see a little bit
He
more.
was fine.
Yeah.
He was good. Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? We got to get to our Woodward Sports MVP. It's time to get cooking. Oh, my gosh. Shout out to Spuster58 in the chat. He says, waves to WUW family. Hey, we wave back, man. Chat family has been electric. Continue to smash that like button. Yep. I know that we have a merch winner. We're going to get into that in the mailbag, but we're so close to the second round of giveaways with the likes.
Absolutely.
Let's get into it.
Hey, and before we get to what's trending with JB-SMOOV, I got to tell you about the Boys and Girls Club, where you might find some future Detroit Lions, maybe cultivate them a little bit. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
The New Holland Brewing Company watch party with the heavyweights, and they also sponsored the post-game show with Stick and Anton. I'm telling you guys at Hayes Socials, it went down last night. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the watch party. Go back and watch the post-game. I see intern Chase over there shaking his head. It was epic last night. The environment, the food. Hey, even every time they scored, man, the forward down the field song came blaring through, and honestly, it sounded like the Joe Louis horn as well. It was an epic environment to be a part of, and you guys, I'm telling you, want to be there to watch the game and to enjoy the post game as well. It's live on Woodward Sports as well. So if you can't be there, chat family, as always, be on one, stay tapped in, smash that like button. And if you missed it, go back and watch the victory post game. It was epic. Come eat, drink, and cheer on the brand new Lions at Hayes Social, only on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee. And also, attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy at DMAC Trust. Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more info, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And we are back. What a show. What a victory Monday, man. What energy. Chad has been electric. WUW Crew's been electric. And now it's time to get sparking, man. Word to Dispo. It's what's trending with JB-SMOOV.
Let's do it.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, JB-SMOOV in the tick booth. Let's rock.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Once again, happy Victory Monday to everyone out there.
You too, JB.
Oh, thank you, brother. And you know what? I know earlier we were talking about David Montgomery and that overtime run, but do you guys know what the play was actually called?
The annexation of Puerto Rico?
It was not the annexation of Puerto Rico. I actually have it here somewhere. Here, just give me 1 second to find it real quick. One second. Oh, I got it. Wait, how did this picture get up on the screen? I apologize about that, you guys. But, you know, if you just run through a motherfucker's face, that is basically the overtime play that was happening yesterday for David Montgomery. Shout out to that man. Straight beast, or as Terry likes to call it, that is a motherfucking dog.
Shout out to Stick as well. He said, after serious consideration, I will no longer boo them kids. They've had to watch their dad catch a beatdown twice on national TV. The football gods have booed them for us.
Stick is one of one.
Absolutely.
They have definitely looked out for us and booed them on our account as it is. But you know what? After last night's victory, a lot of people around the world were giving Detroit some love. Even Mr. Jason Kelsey as well, too, as he put out a tweet yesterday. Wow, Detroit just ran the ball down their throat. Holy shit. That was an impressive drive in overtime. I'll be up for another 2 hours because of that. Adrenaline is through the roof.
Let's go.
Shout out to Jason Kelsey as well. And also, shout out to another resident Detroiter as well, comedian and social media pop-off, Ha Davis, as he had a message for the LA Rams last night as well, too.
Y'all know what happened? Y'all thought we was gonna lose, didn't y'all? First win of the season, the boys got time. Get y'all some Gatorade, get y'all a shower, and get y'all ass on that plane, and get y'all ass back to LA, goddammit. Hell y'all talking about? Week 1, the boys got week, it's over with. 1-0. What y'all talking about? Go regroup, it's diabolical. Ungovernment. Lions then, nigga.
I apologize for that at the ear, but shout out to Ha Davis for putting that one as well. It's a victory Monday. We can let a few things slip as it is.
He was just talking about the linebacker from Eastern Michigan.
Oh,
Noah. Yeah,
exactly.
Noah.
Right?
Yeah. Future Detroit Lion.
Also, is it wrong, not to pivot away real quick, is it wrong to think that my favorite Kelsey significant other is Kylie, is Jason's wife?
Yeah. I didn't love the way she came off in that interview as much as some. I thought she was too much of a ball buster for my liking, but it is what it is.
Fair.
Fair. It is what it is. It is what it is there. And finally, brother, I gotta show you this because got a little bit of a bad news, man.
What?
You know the triple Olympic card that we were looking for?
No, it got pulled?
So it didn't get pulled, but something very close to it got pulled. As a young collector, got the 1-of-1 gold triple of this card as well, too, with Steph, LeBron, and KD on it as well, too. A young kid from California right now got the 1-of-1 gold card. So that is out of the rotation right now, unfortunately.
Can we go back to booing them kids?
Yeah.
How does he get of all the packs that I've ripped open, of everything that I've ripped open, he gets the 1-of-1? No, I'm happy for the kid. The triple auto is still out there. So to get a 1-of-1, a gold 1-of-1 a gold one of those guys at the Olympics winning gold, that's going to be a pretty expensive card too.
That definitely has to be a pretty expensive card. So the triple auto is still out there. If you are looking, be on the lookout for it as well too. And finally, I will end what's trending with this, because even though I said last Friday that, hey, that was a start to J-Mo's boom season, KG actually put it on wax. Even though he's not here with us, he sent us this video to let us know that he was the one that predicted that 100 yards from J-Mo.
It's much different. Third down.
I hope so.
Third down. Don't be surprised if J-Mo is the leader in game high.
Oh, I take. I would take that. Oh, now you done pissed Flannel off.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And now he's wrecked for the rest of the show.
Just saying,
he's going to break the microphone.
I'm not. We can all have our projections, and it's okay.
All right.
Get on the hype train now, because he is going to be the X factor Brad Holmes drafted him to be.
I got him 100 yards against the Rams. Huh? I got him 100 yards against the Rams. 100 yards receiving.
This game? I don't hate it.
Darius Williams goes down. Tre'Davious White probably got to go on to Amon-Ra. Who is guarding J-Mo?
Josh Wallace?
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on. 100 yards loading for J-Mo in this game, man.
Well, Tre'Davious White certainly didn't guard
Shout out to
J-Mo.
KG.
I'll just say that.
Shout out to KG, man. Shout out to
KG.
The WUW Crew, man. I love this WUW Crew family.
Oh, yeah. I love you guys, too. And nice projection, KG. Very nice.
Hey, it's a Victory Monday as well as Victory Lap Monday. A lot of people were bullish on J-Mo. Let's go.
A lot of people were bullish on J-Mo, and once again, shout out to KG for sending me those videos. Finally, I just got to show you guys this picture of us over the weekend with Freddie Feld 313. Thank you once again for inviting us out to Chicago for AEW All Out at the Now Arena. Some amazing people and amazing fans out there as well too. I have to go through my videos and pictures and everything like that to kind of delete some crappy ones that I took and everything like that. Also move some dirty pictures and videos that got sent. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm going to play the video KG sent me of Swerve Strickland getting taken out of this steel cage match that was at the end of the night, the main event.
This is where Lauren Strickland was?
Swerve Strickland.
Oh, Swerve.
Like, look at this chair shot. You might hear me screaming in the background.
Oh.
It was a wild finish to the main event last night or Saturday night, I should say, at AEW All Out. But once again, shout out to Freddie Felt and all his family for inviting us out once again. And he was wearing the hashtag Boo Them Kids shirts that we gave him over the weekend as well too.
Woodward Sport.
But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into this mailbag.
Great job today. Great job as always. Woodward Sports MVP. That is JB-SMOOV of what's trending. Word to Dispo. Let's get into this mailbag.
Absolutely.
segment.
But first, I got to tell you about Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. Call it the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And it is time for our Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. So, chat family, get your questions in now. And you know what? We are 10 away from multiple merch drop. Right now, we already have one person that's going to go home with some merch. And I know that you said you have that. So definitely get your chat, get your Feldman mailbag questions in, and we can reveal this first winner. Give the chat a little bit of time to try and get those numbers up and then jump right into those questions.
Yeah, we say reveal the winner?
Yeah.
Reveal the first winner.
The first winner.
So this was from the first question that I put in the Woodward Sports chat about 20 to 30 minutes ago. I asked, so how many yards per fingernail painted did Caleb Williams go for?
I love brother.
And the first response was from RP, who said 9.3 yards per fingernail painted.
Hey.
RP, congratulations to you. Shoot me an email. Shoot me, if you have me on social media, at MattBro, hit me up, DM me, or shoot me an email, broder@woodwardsports.com. We'll get you connected with the merch team and get that out for you. RP, congrats, man, or woman, on the dub.
Yep. And can you confirm, JB, before we get into these questions, or while Broder is looking up some questions right now from mailbag? Nope. Looks like we're about 5 away. We're definitely getting there. Hey, let's get into some questions.
All right, Brandon Hasso, mailbag. Any concerns with the quick pass game killing us going forward, eliminating the defensive line?
No, we talked about the bend but don't break defense. That's going to be something that they do give up in the middle, between the 20s. But in the red zone, I believe this team is going to prove to be just as stout as they were last year.
The key is to keep everything in front of you. Don't allow what happened on that Tyler Johnson 66-yard catch and run to happen consistently. And I think the Lions will be relatively fine.
Yeah, Neil Rule, Feldman mailbag. Why that man hit KG with the chair like that? Or was that Kelvin Shepard?
He's been learning from Neil, man. He's been learning from Neil.
We've hit 300,
Shout out
by
to the president.
way.
Oh, we did.
We have hit 300. We have surpassed 300, actually.
We got to pick 3 more people then.
I got 2 other lined up from the other questions. If we want to use those, we're down. I got them.
Let's rock.
We'll name one of them. The second question was a riddle. Actually, Chase put this one together. I put it in the chat. What is so fragile it breaks when you say its name? Eric Hatfield said silence.
Hey.
Silence. Unrelated to sports, unrelated to the Lions.
I was wondering why we were getting some silence in the chat.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Yeah, not something you want to see normally in a live show chat, but it was there. Eric Hatfield was first. I got one last one that maybe right when we end the show, we'll reveal. Hey, congrats to you, Eric Hatfield. Broder at woodwardsports.com. Shoot me an email.
So we got
get you
2
taken care
more
for.
giveaways left. It's already active, so Broder, he's just going to pick the guy. Let's rock.
Facts. Charles McClain, mailbag. Has teams figured out Ben Johnson's offense, or was it the Rams' game plan to shut down St. Brown as the offense mostly goes through him?
Yeah, you know what? You want to see Jameson Williams take off. When we were talking on Friday, I believed, hey, coverage is going to be shaded towards the guy who got paid in Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, who just jumped on the scene and proved he's a problem. You got to account for them, but you can't account for everybody. And this is where J-Mo, as wide receiver 2, stepping up big and even having a 13-yard run as well on the end around that looked like it had an opportunity to really even go further than that. J-Mo stepped up big time. He made the catches he had to make. And got into the touchdown, got into the end zone. Probably could have had another one.
Well, and that's the thing. As I get it, Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't have the statistical game that we're accustomed to. However, Jameson Williams and David Montgomery played like superstars. It's an offense that's just somebody's going to get you. You don't know who it's going to be from game to game, but somebody is going to pop off. And in this game, it just wasn't Amon-Ra St. Brown's day. Maybe this season the yardage is even more spread out amongst players than it was last year.
And it's nice to know that even if it's not St. Brown's day, he's not a diva of a wide receiver. We saw the clips of other wide receivers yesterday. Already, the narrative, they already going off on the quarterback. They're already going off on it. Hey, it was one play where I forget who the player was, but they were already pissed off with Justin Fields, and it went viral. But that's not what happened here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he just gave even more effort in the places that he could control. That's what I love about him. He's going to make sure that he gives anything that he can control, he's going to give 110%.
Facts. Stick radio. Stick. Feldman mailbag. And I'm going to ask you guys, channel your best Chris Collinsworth, slob, gobble, nobbler on Matthew Stafford with this question. How impressive was Matt Stafford's arm angle on the interception to Kirby?
Yo, we were dying at Hayes Social because, and I get it, this was an impressive 3rd down conversion throw by Matthew Stafford, but when he made that one where he was backpedaling, it was like 6 yards. It was when they were trying to salt the game away. Chris Collinsworth was like, that's the best throw. That's like the best throw we've seen all year. That is as good a throw as you're ever going to see. And every single one of us was like, oh, come on.
Bro, he was running a Matthew Stafford Krispy Kreme last night, bro. It was just straight glaze. And it was so unwarranted, man. It's okay for as good as the arm slots look. Is he actually beating Jared Goff on the field?
I was say that was a nice play, but it's not by any means as good of a throw as you're ever going to see. It was nice.
I thought the arm slot was better to Kirby, personally.
Well, we all love that one better. That was a great throw.
It was a great throw, but to call it the play of the throw of the year in week 1, come on, Chris.
All at once, we went from being pissed that the Rams converted that 1st down to just like, oh, come on, Chris Collinsworth. We all just had a good laugh about it. Like, can you?
Especially when we're seeing Aiden Hutchinson getting tripped, face mask, held all game long as well. Stafford probably shouldn't even had as many opportunities to throw as he did. The fact that he got 49 attempts off.
Hey, Collinsworth is obviously a swallower, not a spitter. I'll just say that.
Gee, fuck.
Whoa! Clip! intern Chase. Yeah. Big chain energy today.
Hey, there ain't an asterisk on that one, Mike Tirico. Steve DeYoung, Feldman mailbag. How about some Jake Bates love in his Lions regular season debut?
Made the makeable field goals. And I don't care how makeable of a game-tying field goal it was. Jake Bates had never been in that position in a regular season NFL game, and he left no doubt.
Yep.
So shout out Jake Bates. That
Left
was
no doubt.
If there was any concern about him, was he going to be a guy who was automatic between like 22 and 49? We all knew he had the leg. A little concerned about his accuracy, and he was perfect. Extra points, field goals.
That's well said.
Yeah, Kool-Aid, Luke Sam, Feldman mailbag. What's your level of concern about the wide receiver depth moving forward after J-Mo gave us a heart attack when we thought he might be hurt? Like, oh, no, not this, or don't do this.
Well, you
Any
know
concern?
what? It's interesting that we do get that type of a question because when we were actually covering the wide receiver depth, we had even other local media here saying that, what are they doing talking about your wide receiver 3, 4, 5? Well, you have to because they are, knock on wood, because health is going to play a big role this year. We already see it with other teams. J-Mo has to stay healthy. It does concern me a little bit, but Khalif Raymond is a pro. He is a pro.
I personally have confidence. I don't know if I should or shouldn't, that if someone sustains an injury, knock on wood, that maybe a Tim Patrick is ready to come up.
That's right.
Yeah, like
I forgot.
For some reason, he's the one to me out of all the three, when you count him, Allen Robinson, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, that I have the most faith in that they could contribute this season and contribute well. The only thing that's robbed Tim Patrick of continuing on his successful career has been injuries. So, but as long as everybody's healthy, I think we all agree it's fine. But as we said, we saw J-Mo on the field. It was like, oh crap. But
we were like, get up. Yeah. And then
got right back in.
We saw him got up, but then when we saw him on the sidelines, like ready to get back on with the water bottle, it was like dope. Shout out to KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick. He is our sound guy on this show. Can't wait to have you back, brother. Continue to crush it, man.
KG, Sam put that jersey in the cart. Thank you, KG. You know what?
He's getting a J-Mo jersey.
The pace is certainly one that is indicative of me getting that Jameson Williams jersey.
Chance Golf in the chat. My fantasy team didn't win, but the Lions won again. LFG.
Chance Golf.
Lions won again.
Said the Lions won again. Trick. No.
We doing a third and final giveaway?
We have 4 total to give away, so we have 2 more people.
Oh, Clay, we got to think of another one. But the third one, I asked the question.
I got the 4th one.
You got the 4th, perfect.
If he's in there, Phil retired today.
Oh.
Phil retired. Phil, if you're still in the chat, definitely hit up Broder. You'll be our 4th, and if you have the 3rd, then
I love that. I love that. Also, check out Phil. Maybe go to his page or whatever. He makes guitars, and he's incredible at it. It's like a guitar playing.
You have all the names too?
I do. I got everything written down. I got you. But the third and final one, I asked him last year. So Jared Goff, he worked his way up to 3rd in the record books for most consecutive completions without throwing an interception at 383. So I asked the chat, who's 1st and 2nd in the record books, and how many do they have? Eric Allen in the chat got it right first, combining the two, the people and the touchdown and the completion streak. Tom Brady at 402 and Aaron Rodgers at 399. Eric Allen, you're number 3.
I see Phil too. He said, "I'm here." That's what's up. Congratulations to you, Phil, man. Hey, you know what? The fabric of what us Detroiters and Michiganders are known for, man. Hard work. Definitely enjoy that retirement and enjoy this free merch as well. I'm telling you, every time that the Lions get a victory, we're gonna go crazy the next day. If our chat family shows up like y'all did today, we zoomed well beyond that light goal, then we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna make sure that you guys are definitely appreciated. We're gonna show our appreciation to you.
And that's why on today, you go wall-to-wall Lions and you celebrate, you break down, you criticize when necessary, but with victories, you can, oh boy.
Our president.
Neil Rule.
All right, show's over. Get out of the studio.
Yeah.
Is that a show?
I swear Ermanni and Edwards leaves early today. I swear.
You know that Neil, be on it. Be on it, Neil. Oh, man. Is that a show?
Yeah, baby.
It is.
That's a show.
Yeah.
Let's get this chest packed.
Wake up Woodward's first Victory Monday, baby.
Oh.
16 more to come.
For that.
According to Chase's predictions.
I heard about that. That's
Woo! Hey, man, but you know what? Victory Monday. The Detroit Lions, 26-20 overtime win over the LA Rams. Take it back to Hollywood. We don't need it. That Detroit grit absolutely took over. Shout out to J-Mo Waymo. Shout out to Monty. Shout out to Golf. Shout out to the defensive offense. Dan Campbell, Sheila Ford, as always, Queen Sheila. Man, I see the Jared Goff chants going in the chat right now. And if you haven't gotten the chance to, chat family, smash that like button. Shout out to that dude, Justin, our sound guy, Detroit's #1 pick, KG. We can't wait to have you guys back in studio. Intern Chase is here. Silent Mike is here today, filling in the sound booth. Great job today, brother. Silent Mike. True to name. Shout out, though, to Matthew Broder, our Credential Tigers and our Lions reporter and writer from the network, and co-host of our Lions coverage show, Woodward and Main Street, Matthew Broder. Great job.
What a freaking day yesterday. Let's keep it going. It's going to be an incredible season. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a great chat all day long. Numbers were fantastic. Guys, all week, 8 to 10 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, man. Hey, and chat family, aside from the likes, share this thing. Post this thing to socials. Let's blow up Michigan and the whole country with Lions Victory Monday content posted everywhere. Shout out to the vet of the squad. That is Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother?
Hey, this was a great day. Glad to go wall-to-wall Lions. It was the only important football game that occurred in the state of Michigan this weekend. Right?
Yeah, the only one.
Yeah, right.
The only one, yeah.
No, but for real, thank you, JB. You are factually correct. But yeah, for the record, if you want to see me get a little bit depressed about Michigan on air, tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is when we will go in on Michigan and even give JB-SMOOV an opportunity to victory lap MSU, because it's only fair.
Hey, and you know what? Talking about JB-SMOOV. Hey, listen, we got one of the most elite booths in the media game. Elite, wonderful, magnificent, illustrious, great. Woodward Sports is MVP in the booth. That is JB-SMOOV.
Hey, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. You guys brought the energy, as well as you two, chat family. Keep that energy going on for the rest of the day. Hell, for the rest of this week over this victory for the Lions until we roll it into the next one, and we keep rolling it, as Chase says, and another one, and another one. It's been a hell of a day, you guys.
Hey, you know what? Nobody says in the chat, we need to chant other players' names. Maybe that's something we can think about later.
You see what else nobody said?
What did he say?
Silent Mike with elite silence.
Elite silence. Elite. Let's go. What a show. Victory! We got Stick in the building, man. Oh, what a Victory Monday. It's your boy, Brandon DK, Detroit Kool-Aid, your Credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network, co-host of this WUW Crew thing. Oh, I love this. I love this. Woodward Sports, this is what it's about, man. Yeah. Chat family has been on one. Let's have a day. You guys, have a blessed one, man. Have a blessed one.
Yeah, in my vein.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah! Yes!